Hey, if you want to make a business of photography, what I realize is you got to figure out how to make money. There's not a lot of photographers out here that'll share with you exactly what goes into their shoot, how much they're charging, and then the expenses on top of that of how they actually made that income. I want to change that because had it not been for a mentor of mine years ago sharing what he made in his business, I would have never known what was possible, and to be real with you, I probably will still be making under $50,000 a year in my corporate job. So in this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break down exactly what I made last month. I'm gonna show you not only how much I made from each shoot, but also what the client received, the tactics I used to upsell and get clients to spend more, and the expenses that I covered this month that helped me free up my time to focus on my full-time job. More on that towards the end. It's not what you think. And on my channel, we've already gone over how the upsells, how the software I use, and the strategies that help me grow my photography business to well over 6 figures. Now, what we're going to do right now is we're going to break down how much we made last month and everything that went into it. So the first payment that I received of the month, which was December 3rd, came in the amount of $1,500. Now, this was payment one of two. It was a 50% deposit that was being paid for the shoot that was going to take place later in that month, which we're going to get to. The way that I set things up is that they pay the 50% deposit to save the date, then they pay the remaining balance on the day of the shoot. Now, my next payment came in the next day on December 4th, which was the second payment of the month in the amount of $523.34. This was for a shoot that I did the month prior. And the client decided that she wanted to have 20 additional edited images. So this was the amount that I charged her for those edits. Now, here's the thing. For the edits, I didn't actually have to do anything myself. I used my AI editing software, which is Imagine, and I had free credits in order to edit the photos. So that's what I did. I didn't have to take any cost for the edits. I got to pocket all of that $500, which is good. So if you like to use the same software I use, which is Imagine, I'll include a link in the description. And when you sign up through my link, you'll actually get 1,500 free edits, so you can use this as well. Now, the third payment of the month came in the very next day on December 5th. It was in the amount of $1,323.41. It was another deposit for a branding shoot that would take place that same month as well. And also on December 5th, I received another payment, which was the fourth payment of the month, in the amount of $581.41. This was the 50% deposit for a shoot that would take place this month as well. So you see how my payments come in. They're coming in from either deposits or payment 2 of 2s from my clients that book with me throughout the month. Now, the fifth payment came through on December 7th, and that came in the actual day of the shoot. The amount was for $581.41. That was a 30-minute shoot. She wanted to book a studio as well, so I charged her the studio fee on top of her shoot payment, which was $100 extra. I don't charge them anything extra. I charge them exactly what I pay for the studio. So the total for this shoot came out to be $1,162.85. So we did that shoot. It went great. My sixth payment came through on December 8th in the amount of $524.42. This was payment 2 of 2 for this client's branding shoot that would take place this month. And interesting story about this one, right? She actually booked her shoot in October. So the first payment was made back in October, and the payment that she made on this day actually came 2 weeks before we actually did our shoot. Now, I usually dislike having payments paid prior to the shoot in full, because for some reason, I don't know if it's mental or whatever, but like when people pay that far in advance, the actual day of the shoot, it feels like I'm working for free. So I would prefer if people pay the 50% deposit to lock it in and then pay the payment on the day of the shoot, so I don't feel like I'm working for free. But that wraps up the first week of the month. Now, for that first week of the month, I did a total of 1 shoot that week. If I had to include how many hours I worked in the photography business that week, the shoot was 30 minutes. So that took about 2 hours total of setting up because it was in studio, and then breaking down, and then driving from the location to my house, and then sending the images over to my editor, right? So a lot of photographers, they're like, Mike, you can't be working 30 minutes or 2 hours. Like, you got to take in your time of how long you edit the photos, driving. Look, most of the locations that I shoot in are within 15 minutes of my house. I do not like to travel, which is crazy because this month I traveled more than any time I've ever traveled before. But I also don't edit my photos. To be real with you, I really don't even know how to edit. I know how to use Lightroom a little bit, but I use my AI editing software, and then I have a full-time editor that works on my staff, and I pay her and she edits my photos. So I don't do anything with editing. All I do is once I get home from the shoot, I take the images off, send them to my editor. I let her handle that. So for this week, I bought in $5,033.99 on about 2 hours worth of work. Now, week 2 on December 11th, I had one payment that came in It was the 7th payment of the month, and it came in the amount of $1,500. And this was payment 2 of 2 for the event that actually took place that same day. So they paid the day of the shoot. The event lasted for about 3 hours. It was a holiday Christmas party for a corporate client that I have, which was about 15 minutes away from my house. This is one of my highest paying clients, as I've probably been paid well over $50,000 from them since working together. The event was pretty simple. I just snapped a couple of pictures. After the event, I came home, I took the images off my SD card, I called them in my AI editing software, the Imagine software that I linked down below in the description. And then once I called them, I picked the ones that I wanted to send over to them, and I had the AI software edit them. And it took me about 30 minutes in total in order to edit all of these images, which allowed me to send the images to them within a couple of hours after the event. And like I said, I wanted to make sure that you guys are able to take advantage of this. So I partner with Imagine. You click the link in the description, you'll get 1,500 edited images. And let me know if you guys want me to create a video, because I actually have a way that I use this software with events that I get, and I can share with y'all how I get these events. But it allows me to do the events. Let's say if it's a 2-hour event, I charge $500 an hour, make $1,000, and I don't have to do any edits in addition to that, and I can send it over to the client. So let me know if y'all will be interested in that, and I'll create something for y'all. I'll create a YouTube video. So that wrapped up everything for that week. That was all I did in the business. I did a total of 1 shoot that week, which was the event, and I did about 3.5 hours worth of work in total. So for the week, I brought in about $1,500 on 3.5 hours worth of work. Now, week 3, the 8th payment that came in was on December 17th, which is the payment 2 of 2 for a shoot that took place that day as well, and it came in the amount of $840.82. Now, the first payment came in a month prior for the same amount, and this shoot was about 1 hour branding session at $1,680. Now, this included 15 professionally edited images and 25 light edited images, which I use the AI software for the light edited images. And then I had my editor, who works for me full time, edit the professionally edited images for around $10 per image. For December 19th, I received 3 payments this day. Now, this was the first payment was the 9th payment, which was from a client that had a shoot scheduled with me. And what they did was they paid in full. Now, here's the thing about this client. After they pay their deposit, we have a Zoom call just to talk about their shoot. And on that Zoom call, I do something that I call upselling. I listen to what it is that they're looking for. And then as a photographer, you gotta look at yourself as a problem solver. Like, we solve problems of people with our camera. So as I was listening to her tell me what she's looking to do, she wanna grow her business. I was like, look, one thing I offer my clients is something that we call a brand story. And a brand story is basically something that tells them about your business. It tells them who you are, how you can help them. And I was like, I can do that for you. I can just sit you down, ask you a couple of questions, and I can turn that into a video. And the way I position it is I usually sell it for $3,000, but because we're working together, I can do the video. We can just add an extra 45 minutes onto the shoot. I can do this for you for $1,000. So like usually probably 100% of the people that I see that this will benefit them, when I offer it to them, they take it. So I offered her this opportunity. She already paid for the shoot in full. I offered her on the Zoom call. She accepted it, and she paid me a $1,000 payment on that same day. So I received the $1,000 payment. Now for these videos, what I'm realizing is it's taking a little bit more work from me because I edit the videos myself, but I'm going to start charging more in the future. But this is something that is definitely valuable if y'all add it to y'all packages. So that payment came in that day as well. My second payment of the day, which was the 10th of the month, was for a shoot that I had scheduled that weekend for the same client that I did the prior week. So she did 2 shoots with me in a matter of a month, and she paid $607.91, which was her payment 1 of 2. And that was the initial non-refundable deposit to lock in a date. Now, the 11th payment was payment 2 of 2 for a shoot that would take place the very next day for a client, and it came through in the amount of $1,323.41. So the next day, which was December 20th, I didn't have any payments that came through, but I did have 1 shoot. And remember, that lady, she paid yesterday or the prior day, and this allowed us to do the shoot that day. So this one was about 45 minutes away from my house. It was a 2.5 hour session time. And the cost of the shoot was $2,646.82, which included 20 professionally edited images, 35 lightly edited images that will be edited on the AI tool, y'all. And I won't have to pay anything because I still have free photos. And it included 4 headshots and 1 hero image that's going to be used for her website. So overall, this shoot was a long one. It took about 5 hours out of my day, which isn't normal. Like I said, most of my locations was within 10 to 15 minutes of my place. And it was a fun one though. Like if y'all seen my channel, I actually included a video from this shoot, and it turned into a YouTube video. So it was cool. It was a cool shoot. And one of the things that worked out for me in this session was this client actually committed to do a retainer for me in her business that will equal out to around $30,000 in 2025. Now, what I did with this is she is a real estate agent. She wants to have videos and photos that she can use on her page to build up her brand. Now, the thing that I'm going to say about retainers, y'all, and I don't want y'all to think that y'all can go out there and get somebody to pay you $30,000 for a year in just anybody. That's not the thing. The one thing I will say about this retainer is that it won't work with all types of clients. Now, the reason why this is going to work with her is because she's going to actually generate way more income than what she pays me for these videos. So she's paying me for these videos, it's bringing her home sellers, it's bringing her home buyers. She's going to make her money back, especially because she works with the high-end real estate market. All right. So I just want to break that down on the retainers, but we were able to lock her in on a retainer as well. Now on December 21st, this was my busiest day of the month. I received the 12th payment of the month. It came in the amount of $670.91, which was the second payment for the shoot that took place that morning. The shoot took place at 9 a.m. It was a 30-minute session, and the total amount paid with the studio time was $1,215.82. And I charged her for the studio as well as a backdrop as well. And what she received was 8 professionally edited images, 15 light edited images, and I had to use my editor to do all of these images because we had used the backdrop that day, and I don't know how to, the AI software doesn't extend the backdrop, and I don't know how to extend the backdrop myself, so I had the editor do all of the edits, and I paid my editor $170 in order to handle those edits. Now, the next shoot of the day was for a travel agent. So we wanted to shoot at the airport. So I had to travel from that first shoot to the airport, which was about 20 minutes. And this client had paid in full, but then decided that she wanted to do the brand story video as well. So I told you guys about that a little bit earlier. She wanted to do the brand story video. So we spent about an hour at the airport, and then we had to travel 15 minutes to my office, and then we shot the brand story video there. And we shot some images as well just to mix up her shoot. And I love this shoot. Like, this shoot went really well. The shoot ended up bringing in $1,000 for the brand story video, and then the actual shoot, I believe it brought in around close to $1,000 as well, or it brought in $1,048.84. And so the brand story that we did that day brought in $1,000 for the brand story video, which will be about 2 minutes. And I set a timeline on myself that I don't edit anything. Like, I set a timeline, you got 1 hour to edit the video. I edit the video and then I send it over to the client. It'll be about 2 minutes long. And then for the photo session, it was a 1 hour session at the airport, and she paid $1,048.84. And she received 15 light edits and 8 pro edits for this shoot. I gave the pro edits to my editor. I paid her $80, and then my AI editing software will edit the 15 light edited images at no cost because, again, I have credits. So the shoot ended up going on for about 3 hours, and then we wrapped that up and we was done. So that was everything that I did in the 3rd week of December. In total, I bought in $4,380.05 in cash collected, and I worked a total of 9 hours that week, which was a long one. I usually don't work as hard during the week, but it was a good week. Now, in the last week of the month, I ain't have no shoots. And as you know, December is usually the holidays, which is good. So on December 23rd, I collected my 13th payment of the month for $652.49 from one of my clients that wanted the BTS footage from our photo shoot, as well as 4 additional images that we did from the shoot prior that she wanted to have edited on the same day. So I sold her my BTS footage and 4 additional images for $652.49. Not bad. That's another thing that we can add on to our packages, is selling the BTS. So also on the same day, I collected my 14th payment of the month for a new client who booked a 1 hour photo session, which is going to be a month away. So she paid her deposit to lock in that date. That deposit was $846.41. Now, something interesting about this one is that after everyone books a shoot, as I mentioned before, I scheduled that Zoom call. Our call took place 3 days after she made that initial payment. So on December 26th, we had our call and I sold her on that brand story video as well. She ended up paying that 50% deposit on the brand story video, and I received my 14th payment that month, which was in the amount of $543.12. And that wrapped up the month. So for week 4, we didn't have any shoots, but we collected $2,041.02. So for the month as a whole, in a total, drum roll, I brought in $12,955.06. But here's the thing that most people don't talk about. There's a cost to run a business. So let's talk about the expenses and the cost that it took place to actually achieve these numbers. So first off, 100% of my clients come from Instagram. Now for that month of December, I actually spent $1,183.92 on ads, attracting people to my business. And if you'd like to see how I do this, I actually put together a free mini course that I included in the description below, where you can get access in the pinned comment of how we actually bring in these clients every single month with ads. Now for my editor that month, I spent $1,794.52 paying the editor to edit my photos for the professional edits most of the time, but also some of these include shoots from prior months where my clients, they took a while to get images back. So I had to pay the editor for those images as well. So I included that in this price. So that's why it's so high. So for the software, I run my business. I use HoneyBook, which is $39 a month. And then I use PixieSet, which is $54 a month with the storage plan that I have. And that's how I send my photos to clients. And for HoneyBook, they actually take a percentage of the fees that I charge my clients every single month, because I'm using their payment processor. So for that month of December, I paid $462.08 in fees from HoneyBook just for using their payment processor. Also, for HoneyBook and PixieSet, I actually have links in my bio for discounts. So if you want to use those services as well, I highly recommend them. There's discount codes in the description when you use that link. And for my AI editing software that I use, which is Imagine, as you guys see, I don't have to pay anything for that because I do get free images, and I included a special link below in the comments for you so that you can get 1,500 free edits as well when you use it to edit your photos in your business. Now look, if y'all want me to create a video on how to use Imagine, let me know in the comments, because if that's something that you'll be interested in, I'll go ahead and create a YouTube video for you. So let's do a quick recap, y'all. In total for the month of December, I brought in $12,955.06. My total expenses to run the business was $3,533.52. And I walked away with a total profit of $9,421.54 on 14 and a half hours of work, which equates to around $649.70 per hour as a part-time photographer. And if you guys are wondering, like, what does you do full-time, Mike? I do own 2 other businesses, but I consider myself a full-time father. I'm a family man, and one of the reasons why I started my photography business is because it's something that I really love to do. And when I wanted to do photo shoots with people, I would get people standing me up, and I was like, let me just take my marketing experience, get people to pay me to take their photos, and it turned into what it is today. So I run my business doing photography as a passion, but as you can see, it brings in, sometimes some people will call it a full-time income, but I'm a full-time father and I love spending time with my family and my 2 sons, and that's what I do full-time. So look, y'all, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section what you think, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.